Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys a in-depth process of how I like to go in and clean up cuticles that are a little bit harder to clean up. Today I have my lovely sister here. We just soaked off her nails, so we're going to go ahead and put another set back on. But I want to show you guys how I handle her cuticles because she has really thick, really sticky cuticles. They're not terrible, but they definitely are worse than in my last video when I did my grandmother's nails. That is a video on how I like to prep and some of my favorite tips as a beginner that really helped me to learn how to prep. I also talk about cuticle prep in that video. So let's just get started. The first thing that we are going to go in with is our cuticle remover. This is the CND Cuticle Oil. We are going to take one of these Q-tips and we are going to open up our little jar. Now be careful because this is kind of runny, so you just want to go in with a little bit, and we are just going to go in and rub this into her cuticle. Helps to soften up your cuticles, which will help us to remove them. Now I don't go in with this on every client that I have. If you saw my how I prep video, then you would have seen that I didn't go in with cuticle remover in that video just because it wasn't needed. Now with this is a side that I just used. You wouldn't want to go in with that side again because we have touched her hand, so that would be contaminating it. So I'm going to go in with the other side. So as we wait for the cuticle remover to set in her nails just for a second, I'm going to go in and show you guys the options that you have when you are trying to push your cuticle. So the first option that you have is this. This is a metal cuticle pusher. We have the wider side and then the smaller side, and it just depends on which toes and the size of the fingers that you guys are working on, and you can determine which side would be better to use depending on your client. Then we have our wooden cuticle pusher, and this has that angled side right here. And that angle side is for pushing back the cuticle, and then this pointy side right here is for cleaning up your free edge. And then the same thing with our plastic cuticle pusher. We have that side right here for cleaning up under your free edge, and then this pointed side for going in and pushing back your cuticle. So now that we've let that set for a little bit, we're going to go in and we're going to push the cuticle. Already the cuticle is already starting to grow onto her nail plate, so it's a good thing that we're going in and doing this. Now you don't want to leave the cuticle remover on there for too long because it actually can start to eat through your nail plate if you leave it on there for very long. So then when you go in and push back, you could be scraping off layers of the nail. So now that we've gone in and pushed back the cuticle, we're going to go in with our cuticle bits on our e-file, and we're just going to make sure that all of that cuticle is up and off that nail plate, as well as making sure that it's pushed back to the point to where we can go in and nip it. So I'm going to show you guys some of my favorite bits to use. So these two are diamond bits. This one I got in my nail kit, and then this one is one that I got out of a kit. This is a cuticle ball bit. It has like a little ball at the end, if you can see that. And then we also have this one, which is a ceramic cuticle bit. And so the ones that I usually go in with, which if you saw my other video then you would have seen, I like to go in with my diamond bit. as well as with my ball bit. So the first one I like to go in with is my diamond bit. So we're going to go in, turn that on, and we're just going to go in and push back. I like to go in all the way on the side walls and follow all the way through to the other side, picking up my bit every little bit. And you don't want to be jabbing into the cuticle because that can definitely hurt your client, but you just want to gently go along that cuticle. You want to make sure that you are keeping your e-file parallel to the table and that you aren't pressing down with too much pressure, because that can cause indentations in the nail, which can also cause rings of fire, which is really uncomfortable for your client. It can damage their cuticles and as well as their matrix and their nail plate. It's really important that when you are doing this, that you are keeping your e-file as parallel to the table as possible and moving your client's hand and not the e-file. And you don't want to be going on top of the cuticle. You want to be going as if you were pushing the cuticle back. That's where you want to have your e-file placement. You don't want to be on top of the cuticle. Now for this one, she has a hangnail, so I want to be careful around that area. Cuticle remover, it can create like a film on top of the nails, which will just file away. Alrighty, so now that we just went in with our diamond bit, we're gonna go and switch that out and go in with our ball bit and do the same thing over again. If you guys are interested in any of the products that I'm using in this video, I will have everything linked down below, so make sure that you guys check it out in case you want to see where I've purchased anything. If your client is a little bit hesitant or a little bit nervous about you using your cuticle bits, what I like to do personally is I like to actually show them on my own finger. So I'll take it and I'll run it on my own finger and just show them that it doesn't hurt me. And then I will take it on their finger and I will just show them. Obviously you wouldn't want to do this with like a carbide bit or a bit that could cut them, so that tip is only for cuticle bits. That's actually how I learned to get comfortable using cuticle bits, because I was a little skeptical at first when they're like, it won't hurt you, da 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 da. After we just learned about how we can burn and cut and do all this crazy stuff to clients, I was like, yeah, no, you're not using that on me. But after I did that and I used it on my own finger, and touched my own finger with it and saw that it didn't hurt me, then I felt more comfortable going in and using that. So we are all done e-filing, so the next thing that we're going to go in and do is cut the cuticles. Now this was something that I was very, very, very nervous to do. I still get nervous to do it. I don't like to do it, but I am starting to get slowly and slowly more comfortable with doing it the more that I am practicing. My rule for myself is if I don't feel comfortable cutting it, don't cut it. I'd rather you have crazy looking cuticles than for me to cut you all up and you bleeding and risk infection depending on who you are and all those things. So I don't like to go in if I feel unsure about what I'm going to be cutting, because you want to make sure when you're doing this you are not cutting the live skin. I know in some places it is legal to go in and cut the living skin and stuff, and I don't know how that works out. but I'm not gonna do that. I don't want to do that, so we just stick to cutting what we know, what we feel comfortable with, and leaving it to that. So I'm just gonna go in and I'm going to take my cuticle cutters. What you are cutting is this clear skin around the nail plate. And I find going in with the very, very, very tip of my nippers really helps me not to cut my client. If you need to, go in again and push back that cuticle to make sure that what you're looking at is what you want to cut. Now, if by any chance you do end up cutting your customer, you want to acknowledge it. You don't want to just be like, oh, I cut you, and not say anything, not apologize. So what I like to do if I do cut, well, the only person I've cut ever is my sister. But if it's with a client, then you want to like apologize, say like, hey, I'm sorry, I just cut you. You know, something, just acknowledge it. You don't want to, I don't know, that's something that irritates me, is if you're in a salon and you're getting your nails done and they cut you and they don't say anything and they act like it didn't happen. And it's like, sir, my finger is bleeding.
What are you going to do about it?
Like, you're just going to act like you didn't just do that to me?
Nope.
So I just like to acknowledge it. I think that's pretty good advice. So as you can see here, right there, we have a hangnail. From my understanding of it, we are not supposed to cut hangnails, so normally I just leave them alone, I don't cut them. I'm not sure, that's my understanding of it. I don't know if that's necessarily the case, but because that's technically living tissue, you don't want to go in and cut that, so I just leave it alone. So now what I would do, now that I've cut the cuticles, I would go in and I would start prepping my nails for whatever enhancement or whatever service I'm going to be doing. But because we're not going to be doing that in this video, to actually stop here, so I'm going to go ahead, buff up, shine, apply some cuticle oil and some lotion, and we'll be back with the final result. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure that you guys go and check out my last videos, as well as stay tuned for my new videos. They come out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And make sure you guys check down in the description in case you guys are curious about any of the products that you've seen used in these videos. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.
Got in my nail kit. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays for more. See you guys in my next video.